And when it comes to resources for dreamers, organizations like Lupe and Raíces work to help DACA recipients across the valley. There are various nonprofits valley working closely with dreamers to help them thrive in our communities. One organization that helps is the Diocese of Brownsville's Immigration Services Department. The organization is a standalone nonprofit and works under the Department of Justice's legal access programs. Administrators with the group say they help about 20 to 25 dreamers a month. It's a workload that has not changed despite the group's downsizing due to the pandemic. With new and initial DACA applications currently on hold, organizations like this one and others similar to it anticipate an increased workload when and if new applications are granted. When it comes to the new program itself, the director says DACA is working, but it could use some revamping.
It's working, but maybe instead of issuing a permit for 2 years, give it for four. That would be much easier for all the ones that have DACA. Because by the time they know the 2 years are up and they come by to renew, maybe within a month, a week of expiring, or even after it has expired. And when we notice that it has already expired, we just take their application at that point and do the application within that same day. Because we want for them to have their status back, on track.
Another group providing resources for dreamers is Proyecto Juan Diego in Brownsville. The group not only helps with immigration resources, but also teaches on health and wellness, as well as education. Proyecto Juan Diego consists of a dedicated team. A member of that team is the director, Lidiana Ramirez. For almost 10 years, she's dedicated herself to helping DACA recipients. It's an idea that comes full circle for her after she grew up in the same Brownsville neighborhood where Proyecto Juan Diego would help her.
The impact that Proyecto Juan Diego does for the community is something, it's a reward that nobody's ever be able to explain in my opinion, and that's something that is very rewarding and gives me the energy to be able to continue to help out our community.
Ramirez says she's seen dozens of families come from nothing and has seen them struggle with day-to-day tasks. She adds she's now able to provide for her themselves and their children, and they thank her for her work with the organization. And helping families break the cycle of poverty to empower themselves and to lift others. That's the mission of Proyecto Juan Diego, and for 20 years, the organization has helped thousands of families. Our Pauline Fitzgerald has more from the organization, as well as the stories of some they've helped.
For most of Edgar Osornio's life, he's called Los Fresnos, Texas, home.
I came here to the United States from Matamoros, Tamaulipas. That's where I was born. And when I crossed over, I was 4 years old, and it was when my mom met my stepdad, and that's, I've been here ever since.
For 14 years, Edgar hasn't been back to his home in Mexico, but says he's still close to his family. Edgar is a DACA recipient, and for months he went through the process of waiting and filling out paperwork before he was accepted.
Although it's difficult, sometimes it's life, or the situation may seem like it's impossible or it's not going anywhere, but it's definitely worth it.
He says he struggled along the way, but says he feels like there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm definitely thankful because I would think what if I grew up over there? How would it be? Would I even still be here? Maybe something happened over there, especially with all the violence going on.
Now Edgar says he's able to get an education as well as a job and can travel, all things he says he wouldn't want to change.
Pasaba por un momento muy difícil familiar, tenía problemas familiares.
Rosa Callazo, originally from Guadalajara, was looking for those same opportunities. She's been in Brownsville for almost 2 decades now.
Siempre se dice que es mejor aquí, yo quería darles algo mejor a mis hijos. Por eso es de la razón que llegamos aquí. Mis hijos crecieron, les dieron aquí escuela, salió el DACA, mis hijos tienen el DACA, han trabajado y nos ha ido mucho mejor.
Her 6-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter are both getting helped by not only DACA, but by Proyecto Juan Diego.
Pues varias clases de nutrición y me han estado ayudando mucho. He avanzado mucho. Puedo decir que aquí he encontrado una familia cuando me sentía sola, que no tenía a nadie, que Pues no tenía apoyo de nada y aquí he encontrado mucho apoyo.
They're now learning English, being educated more about nutrition, and more importantly, Rosa has someone to turn to through PJD.
Veo que van a estar mucho mejor, un futuro bien.
They're finding the support they need in order to lift themselves up to live a better life.
It's definitely something that gives you courage to continue forward and actually look forward to what the future might hold.
Reporting in Brownsville, I'm Pauline Fitzgerald.
We can see people as victims and see them as poor or as in need, but I don't like to see people that way. I like to see people as survivors and as people who have great potential.
Sister Elizabeth Schoberg has been serving the people of Proyecto Juan Diego for 4 years. She says every day is a gift with the families she's helped and the people who work and volunteer their time to transform lives.
And even when you're asking for help, you have something to give. And I think that's part of the cool thing about our agency is that you see people come in and they get a service or they're part of a program, but then boom, they want to come and volunteer, or they want to give back, or they want to have their kids come volunteer. I think that speaks a lot about the human person and about this community, because it's not all about take. Even the people who come to us for help want to give.
Proyecto Juan Diego is always in need of volunteers. You can find more information about an application up on our website, valleycentral.com.